And the last attack that I want to look at is that a man in the browser attack. So let's assume we have got a big team and we have got our host. Now we will bring in the attacker, and the key thing is here that about a man in the browser attack is that the attacker is going to infect the victim browser with the Trojan. Now I don't want to trivialize this, but this is not necessarily a simple thing, and we are going to assumption that the victim has some sort of vulnerability in their browser or in their operating system. So because of that allows the attacker to do this, and you will be often see this is just one line item attacker, and infect the victim browser with a Trojan as though it's a simple thing, but there is a huge amount of effort and defenses that goes into protecting browsers and operating system from the style of attack. So having said that, it does happen. So for example, we see exploit against plugin like Flash or Java, which can lead a drive by a text. The victim just visit the site and it exploit, and a vulnerable version of plugin execute the code on their machine. So when we talking about the browser, we have seen browser plugins or extension which have been malicious in the past, and the key thing here is about a man in the browser attack is we are saying that there is a malicious software that's running in the browser. So now what that mean is that when the browser and when the victim browse the target site, the Trojan can execute in exact data from a DOM. So what would be used to within the DOM of a browser will clearly anything this is actually entered into a browser credential. For example, anything that persists in the browser cookies. So we have been looking for a session cookies extensively we have been sorry about that we have been looked into a session cooker extensively already previously in the lectures. So naturally there are also URLs that malicious software executing in the context of the browser, and that could access to this. So the man in the browser attack which has some points of effects like browser helps the object which dramatically loaded libraries and which loaded the Internet Explorer upon startup, and extension the equivalent of browser helps object for Firefox browser API hooking. So this is the technique used by man in the browser to perform its man in the middle between the executable application like exe and its library like .dll and the JavaScript by using a malicious IXOM. So here is some example. So after website column and fields or alter them and alter financial transaction information including account details and purchase details, suspend or cease all ongoing transaction in real time, alter a website's appearance, alter the server's response such as thank you pages, seize data entered into fields on a website, alter the transaction history if the user revisits the website again. So how to prevent the man in the browser attack? So I am afraid there isn't much we can do to protect against man in the browser attack, but that doesn't mean you cannot do anything. It's just that you can do is relatively little. So here's some short list of what organization and individuals can do to mitigate the man in the browser attack. So organization user control awareness. To minimize the opportunities for man in the browser attack, organization should implement strict user account which has permission to prevent the privilege escalation. This will limit the damage if man in the browser attack is successful. And another is the organization should provide a basic online security training to their staff, covering topics like social engineering and how to detect a compromised computer, among other things. And about the individuals, like check common Trojan storage location. Many man in the browser attack Trojans reside in the same location on your computer. So check the following directories for any of the unknown application. If you find anything unfamiliar, look it up on the internet, scan it up with the antivirus for your better safety. And the locations are as well common, like C program files or C program files or C Windows temporary file. And the final one is it's better to not leave your browser open. Now you should close your browser when you are using it, done using it, because the man in the browser attack is contained in your web browser. Closing the browser interrupts the attack, so it may be crude but it works even if the usefulness is limited. So at that point, with all of this, that the malicious wire on that victim machine is pulling data from the DOM and inadvertently sending it back to the point when the attacker has access to a command and the control of server. So finalizing the topic is that, for example, the attack is quite different to all the one we have looked already, and it's not exploiting a risk to the web application itself, and it's not exploiting any sorts of risks at the network level either. It's actually has a compromise the host. So that's a man in the browser attack, and session hijacking is one of the nasty things that can do as a result of that. Let's now go and round up this and taking a quick look at what really good example of session hijacking in the wild.